Looking for support in real estate starts not only at the beginning when you're a new agent, but as you develop over the years and you become a $5 million producer, $10 million producer, $20 million producer, and you start creating your own team. That support's got to be there. How does it expand as you continue to grow? That is up to you, but chime in today to find out how we do it right. Let's go.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, agents, to another ICW International Championship workshop where me, Ian Main out in Spain, and Jason Justak try to help agents like yourself grow more, grow faster, get questions answered. Maybe sometimes you need a little kick in the butt to motivate yourself and get yourself out there. And today is a super special episode because we have with us Roddy de la Garza is a regional director of growth here at EXP, based out in California, in the greater LA area, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we're going to talk about his role in EXP, how he helps other agents, the kind of questions that he receives from agents or maybe other staff members within EXP, and basically how things are structured out here because it's very different from your traditional model. It's not the same as your everyday franchise, which we've been living with for the past, I don't know, 100 years. So, Roddy, it's fantastic to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
And Jason, it's always nice to see you, as always.
What's up, gentlemen? Great to see you guys. Roddy, awesome to have you out today. We are excited for today.
Well, I'm excited to represent California.
Awesome, awesome. And I didn't make any mistakes there saying you're based out of the greater LA area, did I?
That is correct. I split my time between Palm Springs, California, and Los Angeles.
Nice, nice, nice. So, if just a brief overview, what is it as a regional director that you do here at EXP and how do you help others?
Well, the regional director position, as it has now been established, is relatively new, especially covering the entire United States. So it's a good question. It's great to know. My sole focus every day is gross agent count, bringing new agents, new teams, and new brokerages to EXP. The best way to do that and to ensure that our existing agents thrive here is to support them in their own growth efforts. So every day I am talking to agents about the people that they've worked with, about people that they know, anyone who may inquire about the EXP value proposition. I help those agents bring new agents into their organizations and downlines.
That's awesome. And I think that's super important because a lot of people seeing this right now may not know who they can reach out to for those kind of things. And a lot of these agents might not even know that we have people here for that purpose.
It really is, guys, a very forward-thinking way of looking at creating, what truly is an agent utopia, because none of the other brokerages out there have full-time professionals with excellent track records going out and helping them recruit into their own organizations. One of the things that our senior leadership saw very clearly was that some agents just didn't have the confidence to go out there and start talking about recruitment or attraction, right, as we call it, because they were afraid to make a mistake or say something incorrectly. So when you have the support of a regional director who's basically your recruiting wingman, right? When you have that support to say, hey, I just closed a great deal with this team. I understand that this is what's going on over there, or this agent was complaining to me, or I ran into Mary at the grocery store and she's thinking about changing brokerages. All they have to do is reach out. Then what we do is we get together, we do a little discovery call. We talk about the prospect, what their business has looked like over the trailing 12 months and the past 5 years, kind of get an understanding of them. Then we set up a conversation together with the prospect and we set to work closing them and bringing them into the organization.
Yeah.
Roddy,
Yeah.
super cool with there too. And I think you nailed the key word in there was support. I caught that. It started ringing in my ear because I hear that a lot. Oh man, I don't know where to get support at EXP. I think it's all over the place. And just like you said, and all over the place in a good way, don't get me wrong. When you
Mhm.
said that, hey, you could contact me and you help those agents, those teams, those brokerages. So so crucial as we have our corporate directors and managers, how supportive they are and so easily accessible as well, Roddy. I'm super impressed with that.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Not only do you have the option to reach out directly to a state growth director, so if you are in Texas and you want to recruit in California, then I would be your contact. If you're in California and you want to recruit in Florida, we've got Josie out there in California, and sorry, in Florida. So Josie Baez is in Florida. And the thing that's amazing about that is that you've got someone who knows the specifics of each state, because some
Yeah.
states like North Carolina, they have a 6 month probationary period. So I couldn't eloquently speak to certain things in another state like I can with confidence in California. But the whole growth director team works together to make sure that number one, we support our agents. Two, that we focus hyperactively on gross agent count. And number three, that those efforts are held accountable. So we've created basically an internal CRM system where we take those prospects that are brought in and we follow them through contacting the agent who originally made that contact so that we can get them into either conversion, a holding pattern, or a nurturing campaign. But we've gone so acceleratedly into the future with this type of service that really agents just need to raise their hand and say, hey, I want this help. I want to focus on getting my downline.
It's that easy, that
Mhm.
easy, right?
Yeah.
How many regional growth directors are there in EXP?
I want to say that there's probably 12 or 13. I'm
Nice.
thinking of the graphic. There's a great graphic on the EXP Growth Toolkit. I recommend that everyone have that. Maybe I can put the link in when you post this. But a
Perfect.
couple of the VPs also function as growth directors for their states. So, for example, Tony King, who oversees Florida, Texas, and California, he's also the VP for Texas. So, we don't have one for every state, but some growth directors do multiple states. But I want to say there's about 12 to 13 of us.
Love it. Great support system. And I love it. And that important key of that word growth is just essential, I believe, too. So Ian, how about you? What are you thinking?
I got a question. I'm thinking about because you work a lot with the agents that are thinking about joining EXP or in the
Mhm.
process, whatever. What is maybe like the most commonly asked questions from a producing agent that is looking into EXP? They've already reached out with the sponsor, and maybe you're now in the process of clearing things up and helping them make the decision or make the move. What's one of the most common questions that you hear?
Well, I think we have to take that question into like different sections, different types of agents. The brand new agent is looking for education. They're looking for
Right.
education, leadership. They want a community, someone that, and they're willing to give percentages, large percentages of their commission to learn actively, right? They've joined if they're brand newly licensed, they're fresh. We pull them into our fast cap program. We provide them those resources. It's easy to show them the track record to succeed. If they're new, but they've been in a previous brokerage, usually they're coming back and saying, I've spent all this money on education and I haven't accomplished anything in a year, 2 years. I've recruited people from brokerages where they've taken every paid class, but they never knew they needed a super key, for example, to go out and show houses. So it's very interesting. Those newer agents really need to be held by the hand and shown how to work their sphere, how to go through a process of reaching out to others, how to help, how to also ask for their value. Because if you're out there helping people, there's a lot of brokerages out there that take these new agents, work them to complete exhaustion and pay them very very little. So the idea here is to create a fair process that's good for everyone to share the knowledge so we can all grow those new agents into the mid-level. So the vast majority of agents, the mid-level, maybe 4 to 6 transactions a year,
Mm.
they're coming in because they're having a struggle upping their game. I mean, to
Right.
these folks, two more transactions are fundamentally a huge change in their business, right? So they want to know about leads. They want to know about leads. They want to know about opportunities to prospect. And that's where we put them into another level, which that would be determining if they should join a team, perhaps
Right.
a lead disbursement team. We have folks that work with things like Zillow Flex and other lead opportunities that get people out there to where like, hey, if I could close 2 or 3 more deals a year, that changes my life, right? And we're hyper focused on those folks as well. They typically have something different. Then you've got the folks that are doing 12 or more deals a year. That's where they start going, am I happy at this size or do I want to grow? And then we have an
Right.
incredible team services department that actually consults them on that because we have 4 different types of teams. So a lot of times folks need to understand what type of team they want to be. So we have those consultative services. And we also have an amazing new product, which is our Team Leader Academy, which will take those team leaders and
Yep.
train them to be able to learn from the very best team leaders at our company, and so that's a really nice way that we continue to support for everyone. Then we have
Yeah.
the teams that exist and the independent brokerages. They're worried about lower splits, higher liabilities, increasing costs of continuous recruitment, technology changes, and a softening market. So what we see is lots of costs going up and splits going down. So the team leader and the brokers of these independent brokerages are having to give away more for less. They're overextended on real estate and technology that's constantly changing. So we come in and show them how we can be the operating system to their business, right? We're the intel inside their brokerage. And so
Sure.
that is the other model there. So the main things people ask us is, how can you make me faster, stronger, better, right? And how can I own the work that I'm doing? Because right now, so many agents are working so hard and they don't have anything except what's accomplished at that closing check, that
Right.
day. Whereas here at EXP, you're building and owning a business that you create. Everyone's asking for help with strategy, leads, and costs.
That's it. That's super important. And
Wow.
I really like that you broke that down for different levels of different agents. Because yeah, everyone's different. Obviously, if me and Jason, we both have our own organizations as well. So we come across
Mhm.
these similar kind of questions, and everyone, depending on the level that you're at, you're gonna have different
And
experiences,
I've
different.
managed teams, this is my 32nd year as a real estate broker. I didn't have an
Wow.
option to get my real estate license. My parents were like, when you come home from college, come licensed because you're going to work in the property management division,
Yeah.
right? Every summer, that's what I had to do.
Right.
But what I'll tell you is that you have to meet the different agents that you're prospecting at the level that they're at. And also to remember that your dream isn't everybody's dream. So find the dream that belongs to that person and help them build that because that's what's important to do. It's when we'll transfer over a large brokerage, for example, the rules still apply as we typically see in the industry. A certain percentage are the top producers, a certain percentage barely do anything, and the next position don't sell anything at all.
Right.
Transferring over to EXP, we don't assume that everybody wants the same thing. So we structure that team coming over into those who want to have the highest cap, the $16,000 cap, those who may want to go on to an $8,000 or $4,000 cap, those who may want to be their brokerage's extension or their team's extension into the commercial world or the farm and ranch world. We bring those opportunities or perhaps their luxury. I
There you go.
actually will
Yeah.
sit down with the brokerage and then talk to them about what their plans are, right? In order to create a structure on who it is that needs to do what within their industry. There are some agents also who maybe at the part of their career where they're just not focused on production, but they want to focus on something because they have a passion for what we do.
Right.
So a lot of times those folks can go right into our referral division so that they become lead procurement services for the organization. They can still earn referral fees by introducing folks, by doing calls, by hosting open houses or reaching out to folks and creating opportunities to earn commissions by handing the business to someone else and becoming incredible recruiters for that organization.
Of course. Wow. Let's
Impactful.
Mhm.
yeah.
Basically, what we do is we meet you where you're at, we create the plan for the transition, and then what we want to do is create a plan that will get you to the goal of where you want to be so that you can then envision what the next level looks like. And I think that EXP takes care of agents from licensure to retirement. And I don't know any other brokerage that really does it like we do. In the course of the 32 years that I've been licensed, unfortunately, gentlemen, I have been to very many agent funerals, probably a dozen, in my opinion. I haven't been to any agent retirement parties. And I have
Right.
a feeling here at EXP, we do have the ability to see agents retire, but retire doesn't mean they give up real estate. It means maybe they sit back into the fruits of their hard work by transferring their book of business and continuing to be a leader in the organizations that they've
Mhm.
created. I've never encountered this at any other brokerage that I've worked.
There you
That
go.
that vision is huge, because again, just like you said, in your 32 years of experience, you've never seen that until now, which is awesome. And so that's where people need to kind of switch that mindset to say it doesn't have to be that way like it used to be. Let's
No,
look at how it's transforming and how it could be. And those that are open-minded are finding that true. Don't you see that, Roddy?
I agree. And it's an open mind, but it's like opening up your fourth eye because the third eye is not even sufficient. Because the truth is, we've all been so cornered into a certain way of looking at the industry that you almost can't see it until you're in it. It took me 3 years to come to EXP. There were folks contacting me. I went to two EXP cons as an explorer. I went to multiple regional rallies. And I was like, what am I not getting? What am I not getting? I was one of those people that if I was at an event and an EXP agent was walking up to me, I would try to move away because I knew they were going to try to recruit me, right?
Right.
And in my mind, my brokers were always saying, "Oh, EXP is an MLM. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, it's this." And so unfortunately, my error was contempt prior to investigation or thinking that I knew it all before I even had given anyone an opportunity to explain it to me.
Yeah.
It was through being put into the culture from hearing Glenn Sanford talk at one of the EXP cons about how he was going to create the downlines to be arable, right? To be able to transfer to someone else.
Huge. Yeah.
Every other corporation that I had worked at would have thought of a way to capitalize upon pulling that revenue back into the corporate structure. When
Sure,
that
right?
happened, I was like, okay, this is not like a corporation or a publicly held company that I've ever heard of before. And then when I made the mistake of transferring from one brokerage to another that did not have the freedom or the boundarylessness, it was confined by franchise lines, territories, office areas, that kind of stuff. I could not do the business I created in four different metros as elegantly as they told me I could. Whereas at
Oh,
EXP, I could, right? That's when I saw also that the EXP model was built not based upon what's best for the franchise owner or for that office's owner. It was done for what's best for the agent, you know? And that allowed me to create the vision that I wanted. And I learned from other EXP agents how they do that, you know, how they structured that. And what's been amazing is folks so freely gave to me that now I pass it on freely to others. And I think that we attract each other, those of us who realize that we are collaborators, not competitors. When we sit
nice.
at the same side of the desk with our coworker or with the agent on the other side of the transaction, as opposed to immediate opposition, and everyone has experienced that in real estate. Why
Yeah.
are you calling me? You know, that's just not the EXP way, you know? And once you start experiencing it and you're in it, it's like you cannot unring that bell that you are truly encountering something that is unlike any other realtor community that's existed.
I
That's it.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
No.
it. It's well said, Roddy. I mean, it's that culture that keeps us thriving and, sustainable for the last 15, 16 years. And it's going to continue on for forever until we get a million plus agents is our goal, right?
Yes, that's the goal. And the thing, I'll use a little, you know, I'm in Southern California, so I can't help but use vernacular from Los Angeles, right? But the best way to put it is EXP has set up so that the agent is the star. And then all of our executive team is like a studio executive team. They've all been high performers. They're working in the background to make sure that we shine, that every agent is up on screen shining. It's not about, oh, if you leave this brand, you'll lose your business. It's all about you are the brand. We're going to support you with everything you need. One of my other favorite things lately is when Leo, our CEO, said he's not going to work on proprietary technology or proprietary software. He's always just going to partner with the best. And that made the incredible sense for me because I can't tell you how many times I worked within organizations where there was a constant chase for the best proprietary developed technology. Not only did it waste costs, it wastes training time. People could not keep up, but when you know that someone's out there and has got your back and is looking at marketing solutions, partnerships, technology solutions, when we've got Wendy and Kendall and folks like that going out there, finding the best, negotiating on our behalf and then bringing it back to us, it allows us to focus, myself and other EXP agents and as a growth director, to spread that gospel to everybody that, hey, you're always being offered the best opportunities so you can focus on the part of the business you like. Not only just like the part of the business that brings you joy, whether it's production, whether it's training and coaching, or it's attraction. I can tell you that I've worked at brokerages where upon leaving, I felt like every ounce of joy had been sucked out of me in the real estate transaction. Everything just seemed to be a struggle, from getting something into the system to checking my commission check upon closing. Everything seemed to be built as a way to make it a little more difficult for me. Again, that is not the experience here.
Not the experience at all. That's it's opened my eyes up, and we'll start wrapping it up here. But you heard it here. It's not so your regional directors, especially Roddy in this case, is focused on helping you grow more. It's not just an EXP explained. It's way beyond that. It's way more. It's breaking down prospective agents' businesses, finding out where they want to go, where their passion lies, and really helping them tie it all in with what EXP has to offer and what we do and how we are, the culture, the
Right.
collaboration against the competition. I think that the fact that and this is going back to what we said at the beginning, the sole fact that we have people dedicated to doing that for other agents, it's just, I don't know, every time I'm already in EXP and I'm just being sold on it again and again and again.
It's so much more. It really is. It's like once you experience it, it's the bell that cannot be unrung. And I will say also, it's not just about attraction, one-on-one. Certainly that's part of it. That's one section of what I do. But I also want to put out there that as growth directors, I'm also training, coaching, and providing templates of events that can be held. We have a mastermind session that started in the Coachella Valley. The first one we did, we had a goal to have about 35 non-EXP agents there. We did basically an unbranded mastermind, inviting the folks that we admired the most from other brokerages to come speak, which then naturally drew other people together. We brought folks in there. We're the ones creating community and collaboration to bring folks. I don't need to tell people why EXP is so great. If they ask, I certainly will, but I can show them in my actions, character, content, and care for them within the community that should they ever need a place to go or study abroad, as I say, hey, come study abroad for us for a while and see how it is, right? Come check in on us. If we can be the leaders in that, then that's the natural place where people will think of to come, because we truly are a community of agents thinking for agents. So if folks want to go out there and find some type of event, that 35 goal for that event turned into 47 non-EXP agents. Tomorrow we have the second one and we're at 70 already in those registrations.
Great job. I love hearing that. I want to bend your ear about that. I might have to take a sidebar off that after this as well. But because I love doing events, and that's huge. That's huge progression. And again, the support, the collaboration that you and the rest of the regional growth directors bring is amazing. And you guys are also accessible. You and I talk a lot on our workplace chat, and just be able to reach out and say, hey, you're in California, I'm in Indiana, Ian's in Spain. It's global collaboration at its best, right?
That's great, because people would tell me, aren't you going to miss being in an office? Aren't you going to, people said that to me all the time. And then what I realized was even when I was at a company that had an office, no one was really in the office anymore. And I
No.
didn't really get to know anybody because the only time I would see them would be at an occasional meeting or a holiday party, right? Today, my computer's open. I have one computer all day that's just me chatting with folks. One screen is just me and other. I feel like I know more people, like I know more people than I ever did at any other brokerage. And I can so much more easily refer friends and family's business to other folks with ease because I know that at the end of the day, that person has that EXP spirit of collaboration. It's just an
Awesome.
incredible opportunity.
Well said, man. I love it.
Perfect. Well, yeah, I think that we can start wrapping it up here. Roddy, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
everything. Again, agents listening to this, feel free to reach out to any of the three of us for any questions that you might have. I think Roddy gave us the best kind of explanation on letting us know exactly how things are done here at EXP, how people are here, and their literal job is to help you. As an agent, not for their own benefit as a broker or as your boss or whatever it is. They're just here because it truly is an agent-centric brokerage. So yeah, Roddy, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Jason, anything else from you?
Hey, Roddy, always good to see you, man. And I appreciate you taking the time to, explain to everybody what we've got going on and how truly awesome our leadership is. I'm a big advocate for everyone in our leadership division because you guys are all progressive thinking. You guys are always agent focused of how it benefits the agent. And my hat's off to all of you in that leadership. So please pass my love to everybody that you see as well, Roddy.
I will. Thank you, gentlemen. And for all the agents out there, just know that at EXP, we've got your back. We've got your back.
100%.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.